We watched Meta start the year as the open source darling, sharing their Llama models everywhere, inviting the community in.
Right.
Now, they are secretly building something called Avocado, and they are betting the entire company's future on keeping it locked down.
That pivot from, communal sharing and transparency to suddenly locking down their biggest asset is more than just corporate strategy. It's an identity crisis for Meta, signaling a massive high-stakes reversal that affects the entire AI landscape. They feel they have to win at the very top tier, whatever the cost.
Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is to unpack these fundamental shifts. Using the recent source material you shared with us, we have a lot of tension to work through. First, we're going to dig deep into Meta's dramatic internal culture shock and the mysterious delay of that closed-source Avocado model.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Then we'll pivot to AI in the wild, looking at practical ChatGPT tips, the rapid commoditization happening in the voice market, and some of the unexpected ways AI is showing up.
In ads and even late-night chats.
Exactly. And finally, we'll analyze a truly significant scientific breakthrough, Microsoft's open-source GigaTIME model, which is dramatically reducing the cost of cancer research.
Down to about $10 per analysis. It's incredible.
It is.
So we aren't just reading headlines today. We are looking for the why behind the biggest moves, connecting the dots between, Silicon Valley drama and breakthroughs that fundamentally change science.
So let's start with Meta. Just months ago, they were the hero of the open source community, hyping Llama. But the sources show Llama is barely mentioned now.
It's almost as if it's been quietly abandoned. What's fascinating here is how immediate and radical this shift to secrecy has been.
And it's all about this new model, Avocado.
The secretive next-gen model is Avocado. It was expected to launch by the end of 2025, but that timeline is already slipping. Pushed back to Q1 of 2026.
And the biggest fear among researchers is that this will be a fully closed source model. That's a complete dramatic reversal for them.
It is. They built their modern AI reputation on being the most generous sharer of foundation models.
So why the sudden loss of faith in their own strategy?
Well, the core hypothesis outlined in your sources is simple, if a little brutal.
Okay.
Meta concluded that open source simply didn't pay off. They poured billions in, but they didn't get the revenue or the market lead they wanted.
So they feel they need to own the next GPT-level model to stay relevant.
They feel they absolutely have to.
That urgency is translating into some pretty brutal internal changes. We're hearing the culture has really fractured.
It has. The new mantra inside key AI teams is demo, don't memo.
No more lengthy workplace updates then.
Exactly. They're forcing teams to operate like these intense, scrappy startups, pushing for immediate results.
And that pressure cooker environment is leading to, 70-hour work weeks?
Reported 70-hour work weeks, yeah. Coupled with targeted layoffs that are specifically hitting the FAIR division.
And FAIR is their fundamental AI research group. That's where all the academic, open-minded research used to happen.
That was the heart of it. And that culture is being dismantled. It seems less about sustainability and more about desperation. Deliver or exit.
And we're seeing that at the top, too. The sources highlight the replacement of longtime Meta executives.
Right, and the departure of chief AI scientist Jan LeCun back in October. When a pioneer like LeCun, who basically is the champion of open research, leaves.
Or is pushed out.
Yeah, it signals a fundamental house cleaning. It's all about securing results, period.
And that pressure is also being intensified by some hard infrastructure challenges, right?
Precisely. Meta's massive, $27 billion data center still isn't fully ready.
So they have to rely on third-party clouds just to train their own models.
Which drives up costs and adds latency. They're playing catch-up, and they're doing it by changing their entire identity.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The main reason for Meta's dramatic cultural overhaul.
They believe open source failed to pay off, forcing this high-stakes closed model push.
So that's the heavy corporate drama. Let's pivot now. What ties all this together is how fast the technology itself is moving outside of these big labs.
Yeah, let's look at what that means for you, the user.
Okay.
We can start with some practical nuggets. OpenAI recently dropped 6 official ChatGPT tips for getting better output.
I saw that. The concepts aren't entirely new, but it's a useful summary.
It is. Things like starting with a clear role for the model. And, I'll admit, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, me too. It's that frustrating moment when the model just starts losing the original context of your conversation.
Exactly. So having these codified tips is actually pretty helpful.
And speaking of utility, the Adobe integration sounds like a real game changer.
Oh, it is. Photoshop and Express are finally accessible just using natural language prompts. You can literally edit images just by talking.
Which radically lowers the barrier to entry for creative work. No more navigating complex menus.
Not every deployment goes that smoothly. We saw that with McDonald's.
Right, their AI-generated Christmas ad. The sources detail this quick, intense backlash that caused them to pull it.
People called it creepy and god-awful.
Yeah.
It's a great example of how quickly the public rejects AI when it just feels unsettling.
It's a crucial lesson for marketers, for sure.
And on the business front, Forbes released a surprisingly honest prediction piece for 2026.
The honesty was the key part.
Yes, they explicitly admit they got their previous AI timing estimates wrong. Now they are focusing on 10 specific bets for automation and the future of work. That kind of candor is so rare.
And we're also seeing the competition just heat up globally. Google launched a massive move in India.
Aggressive. They're offering their AI Plus plan with Gemini 3 Pro. It starts for new users at about $2 a month.
Just $2. They are clearly going after market share where Meta's open models struggled to get a commercial foothold.
And all this usage is revealing some fascinating things about us. Microsoft's end-of-year report analyzed 37.5 million chats.
And they found some highly unexpected patterns.
Things like 2 a.m. philosophy chats.
Philosophy chats. That's amazing. Not productivity, but deep late-night reflection.
Exactly. And whoa, imagine scaling that analysis to 1 billion queries across different time zones.
Right.
It paints a picture of AI, not just as a tool for drafting emails, but as this silent late-night sounding board for human existence.
A non-judgmental digital listener. I like that.
And this pressure is hitting niche companies too. ElevenLabs, the voice synthesis leader, they just raised $100 million.
But their CEO thinks voice AI itself is going to be commoditized.
He does. So their new bet is on full AI agents, music generation, and crucially, deepfake protection tools.
So what does the ElevenLabs shift, moving away from just voice, reveal about the current AI market?
Even successful niche tech will commoditize fast, pushing focus to full AI agents.
That makes perfect sense. The value moves from the parts to the whole system. Okay, let's shift gears entirely now. We're moving from commercial tension to a highly impactful piece of scientific research.
This is where that shared knowledge model really, really changes lives. We're talking about Microsoft's breakthrough with an open source model called GigaTIME.
And what's remarkable here is that it democratizes access to high-end medical diagnosis.
It really does.
So how does it do that?
It takes a basic, low-cost, $10 tissue slide, the kind any local hospital can produce, and transforms it into the rich, detailed immune system analysis that previously required specialized, expensive machines.
And human specialists and days of work.
Right. It essentially turns cheap, widely available data into high-end diagnostic data. It maps the immune system and the tumor environment.
Like creating these high-resolution cancer maps.
Exactly. To do this, the model was trained on a massive data set, 40 million cell samples from Providence Health.
40 million. That's a huge data scale.
It's like stacking Lego blocks of data, but for medicine. The depth is unparalleled. And this wasn't just a lab exercise.
No, it was tested on real patients.
Over 14,000 real patients across 24 different cancer types.
And the outcome?
It created a virtual tumor library of more than 300,000 high-resolution images, and it surfaced over 1,200 entirely new immune patterns.
Patterns linked directly to cancer stage and survival statistics.
Yeah, that is profound.
And the key strategic choice here, again, is that Microsoft open-sourced the model.
That open source move is strategic genius. It accelerates global adoption immediately.
Creating a massive real-world feedback loop.
Yes. The playbook is clear. Cheaper tools mean more hospitals use them, which generates better local data, which builds better models globally faster. It's a virtuous cycle for science.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, what is the critical advantage of using GigaTIME's open source strategy?
It builds a massive feedback ecosystem, leading to better models faster through global use.
So what does this all mean for us? The AI industry right now is defined by these incredibly dramatic internal shifts.
The cultural demolition inside Meta for Avocado.
Right. And at the same time, this phenomenal, undeniable real-world utility like GigaTIME, we're watching two radically different philosophies collide.
And the key takeaway is this. The race isn't simply about building the most powerful model, period. It's about choosing the strategy closed and proprietary, which is Meta's new bet, or open and ecosystem building, like Microsoft is doing in medicine.
Which one wins the long-term innovation war?
Exactly. And consider this as you go about your day. Does the future of critical innovation hinge on proprietary control, which Meta is betting billions on with a secretive model like Avocado?
Or,
Or does the greatest human impact come from shared open knowledge, demonstrated by life-saving accessible models like GigaTIME? Which path truly advances society faster?
thank you for sharing the sources for this deep dive. Keep exploring that intersection of technology and human impact because that's where the real story lives.